Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Johanna Konta? Please could I ask you to raise your hand if you have a question. First question.
I feel like it's getting the top end of the stick when you're playing a woman who's ranked 32, who would normally be avoiding the seeds in the first 2 rounds.
I mean, obviously on paper it definitely looks like that, and in reality she's a very good player. She demonstrated today. I think she played pretty incredibly well. So obviously it's always tough to have a tough match like that. However, there's a lot of players who aren't on the seeding list who are equally tough to play. So I wouldn't say it's tougher because she would have been seeded. I think it's just tough because she's a great player.
What are the particular challenges that she throws up for you?
I mean, I think she's very feisty in the way she plays, so she brings a lot out of herself. I think with each match she plays, she's very physically and very present in kind of her mannerisms and the way she fights on court. I think when she's playing well, I think she goes for a shot very much so, and I think she looks to dictate. And when she's playing well, she plays incredibly freely. So I mean, she was hitting winners from 5 meters behind the baseline kind of thing. So she was obviously seeing the ball very well and feeling very good in the way she wanted to play. And I found it very difficult to really get a foothold into the match, and that was a lot to do with how she played.
There seemed to be an exchange between you and the umpire, I think, early in the second set or at the break. Were you unhappy about her moving as you were about to serve, or whatever? Was that what it was?
No, it was actually to do with the way she plays. She's very intense, and she was slapping her thigh, so it was like a clapping. And I just asked the umpire if it would be the same. Is it the same that if someone else from externally in the crowd would clap in between first and second serve? So that was more what was bothering me. But the umpire had a word with her, and she stopped. So she doesn't do it in a malicious way. She does it in for herself to pump herself up. So it was it was nothing more than that.
Joe, what did you make of the atmosphere today? Because the court was very empty when you came on, and compared to last year against Vekic when it was just going crazy, it felt kind of flat in there.
I think it's. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, at the end of the match, it was quite full. I think the crowd also need a break and need to have some food, especially after a men's match. I mean, they already watched the match. I'm sure they were hungry, and someone needed to go to the toilet. So I think they can be forgiven for not staying there all the way through. I mean, at the end of the match, it was quite full, I thought, and I felt a lot of support. So I didn't really pay too much attention to that.
Johanna, do you think expectations of fans and the media, however hard you tried to block it out, did have an effect on you at Wimbledon this year?
No, not at all. Because again, like I keep saying, I'm here to satisfy my own expectations, and I'm very clear on where I am in my development and where I am with my level, and I did the best that I could. And I lost to a very good player today. So no, I love playing here. I will love it next year. I will love it for how many more years I get to play. And that is regardless of what external factors, media or people say about me, because that's something that's very much out of my control.
Lady in the middle.
You talked about how well she played. How would you assess how you played? Because you didn't seem to be playing badly. You just came up against someone that was in really hot form.
I think you answered your own question there, which is exactly how I felt. I felt there were actually some things that I did quite well. I thought I served actually quite decently. I felt I adjusted also my positioning to how she was serving. I thought I adapted reasonably well to try to really get into the match and to try and ask her the questions of maybe her dropping her level, of me kind of being there ready when she did. I don't think she did at all. Which made it quite difficult for me to get any momentum. I think I think she served very well in terms of her placement. I mean, she obviously doesn't have a big serve in terms of pace, but she placed it incredibly well today. So even with my adjustments, I still struggled to find a good rhythm and just a good hit on the ball. And also within the points, I think she. I think she made incredibly few errors. I mean, with also the pace and the margin she was playing with to make as few errors as she did, I think she played very, very well. And I didn't have as much of a say in the match as I would like. So I will just keep working on whenever I come up against a player who's playing very well like that on the day to just keep trying to do as much as I can to get in there in any way possible.
Joe, just on the seeding again, Sam Smith on the TV said that she thought the club had done a Cibulkova a favour because they'd fired her up, and Sam said that this was the best that she'd seen Cibulkova play all year. I don't know whether you kind of seen that much of her, but what do you think of that verdict?
I mean, I haven't watched so many matches of her in this past year. But all I can say is this is the best that she's played against me, that I've played her. So she really played very well. I think Domi really strives on competitiveness, and she does fire herself up. That's why she has been, I think, number 4 in the world. That's why she won Singapore. That's why she's been a Grand Slam finalist. She's someone who fights and competes very, very hard. So. When you couple that with when she plays well, she's very hard to beat. So and I came up against a kind of a perfect storm from her today.
Joe, there's a chance you might lose your sort of seeding for future slams after this. How concerning is that, or have you actually seen your opponent today sort of inspiration how to come back?
Well, I was actually just going to say, I mean, I hope I can deal with it as well as Domi does. To be honest, I think this Wimbledon is another demonstration of how seeding is not the be-all, end-all. The depth we have and the way that the women's game is, and how players can play very well in any certain match. I am not terribly worried of losing a number next to my name.
And for you and your game overall, how would you, not just Wimbledon, but generally, how would you compare it with sort of a year ago?
I don't compare it with a year ago. I'm in a different place with different challenges, different... just basically, I'm in a different place. I'm appreciating for how I am working now and how I'm competing now, and trying to build on this now. I'm not living in the past.
Do you believe you've maybe progressed since last year? I mean, there has been quite a dip in results.
I actually haven't regressed. I think I haven't. Last year, I don't think I added as much to my game as I would have liked, and I think that hurt me towards the end of the year. But actually, this year I feel like I'm heading in the direction that I want to be heading in. I think I'm improving, and I think sooner or later those results will come, or if they don't, they don't. But I'm happy with where I am in my career and with the work I'm doing.
But how are you improving? What areas do you feel you're improving in?
I think I'm clearer on the way I want to play. I think I'm clearer with the shot selection that I want to do. I think I'm getting fitter. I think I'm moving forward more, which is something that I've always wanted to do, and really work on to be able to do that better. But most importantly, I think I'm clear on the way I want to play.
Joe, what's your sort of programme for the rest of the summer? And I'm just wondering if, having obviously now all of these points going to come off, if that might kind of free you up a bit, consciously.
I was quite free before.
But I mean, kind of, clearly you're not now defending a whole mass of points like you have. I wonder if it's been on your mind the last couple of months or whatever. Now that's over.
I mean, you guys have asked me this question quite a lot, and it hasn't. I know it's been on your minds, but it really hasn't been on mine, because, like I've said, tennis is a really lucky sport in the sense that we get to compete so much. We get to play a tournament literally every week if we want to. So obviously there's more points up for grabs in slams and bigger tournaments. However, every week is an opportunity to perform. Every week is an opportunity to gain points. I play the sport to compete and to compete hard and to go deep into tournaments and try to make it to the end and win titles. That's what I want to do. Obviously, I dream of winning Grand Slams, but every title is an opportunity to win it. So I'm not going to be playing the second half of the year any different than I played the first half of the year. I like to think that I'm competing better with each match that I've played, and on paper, obviously, it's an opportunity for me to not lose points and just gain. However, how I approach it personally, it's no different. Yeah, it's not different for me.
Where will you be going?
San Jose, and then, which is the old Stanford, which is renamed. It's a different place to Stanford, but same week. Montreal, Cincinnati, New Haven, US Open. Yeah.
Thank you, Johanna. Thank you, ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen.